This system is not sick. This system is the disease.
So will the United States get into a confrontation openly with Syria? We've heard some people from the Western world, we've heard Obama, we've heard some others tell Assad that he needs to step down in Syria. What we're seeing here, Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, wow, that's three fucking countries. Not three fucking people, but three fucking countries. Okay? Fucking Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya. Now it seems like they're going after Syria. And then we got the potentials of Iran, the potentials of Venezuela. We have the potentials of Zimbabwe. I mean, my goodness. These people are on a roll. This is something that is really comparable to Nazi Germany. When Nazi Germany was going around and they were, conquering the areas that used to be German territory and other nations as well, that led up to the events that transpired to be World War II. And we're seeing that now with the United States. The thing is that Syria is a very powerful country. Okay? It is a capable nation. It is capable of defending itself. Is it able of defeating America? No. But it is very capable of tearing apart the flesh of United States servicemen in helicopters or planes and having the world see for the first time in I don't know how long American airplane and helicopters fall from the sky. Yes. To give hope to the oppressed people of the world. Yes. America can be hit. Yes. But can Syria pound for pound match up with the United States? Of course not. But the United States nonetheless is wanting to get Syria out of there. Or at least I think they want to go worse than Iraq. I think they want to go worse than Libya. I really think that they want to completely, utterly destroy Syria. And they want to put one of the most ferocious puppeteers ever in the history of American imperialism in that nation, and have notorious puppets be the new face of Middle East, of Syria. And I don't think really there is anything that is going to stop the United States from doing this. I honestly don't feel that China nor Russia are up to the task of openly confronting the United States, making their grievances and concerns, because that's all they will do is just make their grievances and concerns apparent. But any other action outside of grieving and voicing their concerns, China and Russia is not up for the task. I don't even know if the world is watching, so we don't know if Russia and China are even if you can even trust them as a country that they will have your back militarily against the United States and the West, and being a buffer between your country and the United States and the West. We really don't know, because so far they turned their back on Libya, they turned their back on Iraq, they've turned their back on Afghanistan. What are China and Russia supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? Is a question that I'm sure some people will ask me. But in my opinion, this is just my opinion, China and Russia should set themselves up to be viewed by the oppressed countries of the world as saviors, as protection, as big brothers. Because what you're going to find happening is, if you're an ally of China and Russia, you will soon start to question, is your alliance with China and Russia the best deal that's out there? You know, are you better off just being self-sufficient and just saying, you know, we're gonna stick to our own, and we're going to take our own fate in our hands, instead of willingly putting them in the hands of China and Russia, the big two, you see? And then you're going to have even more so-called rogue nations that I'm sure, if their leadership, depending on that particular culture, were to get their hands on some kind of weapon or device, they would not hesitate to use it, because they would feel the inevitable is coming anyway. It's dominoes, right? Bang, 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 all go down, right? One country after the other after the other. What country is next after Syria? Yemen? You see what I'm saying? And these allies of Russia and China, I mean, they have to begin to ask themselves, if Russia and China militarily can't protect us, or is not willing to protect us, then what good is our standing relationship? What good is our relationship? And when people start to question China and Russia, only then, possibly, will you see China and Russia take a stand openly, publicly, against the United States and its lapdog NATO. Only then. Other than that, I highly, highly doubt and China or Russia will ever, within the next, I would say this can continue for the next 3-4 years, in that time frame, will not challenge the United States or NATO. Like I said, I don't know the reason for it. There's different theories, you know, that they're just strictly about business, and as long as you stay on your side and you play your game, we'll stay on our side and we'll play our game. I don't know. That very well possibly, that could be it. Or it could be that they are building, they know right now, if it were to come to a military confrontation with the United States, they just wouldn't have enough time to have built up a formidable alliance with one another, where their military tactics were entwined specifically for the United States and NATO involved countries. But people will soon begin to question. Iraq fell, you see. Afghanistan fell, you see. Libya. China thus far has saved Zimbabwe. But there still is a question, is China and Russia up to the task of militarily being a buffer between these less powerful countries that are the so-called oppressed countries of the world? I think we're gonna have to wait and see. We're gonna have to wait and see for that, because it's a nasty game, you know, this politics, you know, because a lot of the guys you think are good guys, I'll tell you right now, there's no good guys, none, zero. Russia's not a good guy. America's definitely not a good guy. China's not a good guy. None of these guys are good. None of them. They're all about the self-interest of their government. That's what we can trust them on. That they have the interests of their government first. They don't have the interests of the third world first. From their caring, pouring hearts of love. They don't have the oppressed countries' in interest with their pouring hearts of warm love. No, they do not. But they do have the interests of their government, and they do have the interests of business continuing. Okay? Really, all these guys are sitting at the table. Russia and China, my prediction, will never oppose the United States until one of them is betrayed to the point where it's apparent that the United States is no longer a reliable ally. Because right now, all these guys are allies to a certain degree. They're not enemies. So get that out your head. You know, they're not. They're not. They're really not. They know what they're doing. You don't think Russia and China know what the United States is doing? You don't think they have intelligence on what countries are gonna knock down next? You don't think that they have any intelligence on that? Well, I'm sorry to bust your bubble and wake you up, but this is the real world, and there is no good guys. So shut up. Okay? All this talk about Russia's the hero, China's the hero, they're all gonna save us. That's not. It's not. At least they will not militarily act on the kindness and warmness of their heart to represent the oppressed world and the oppressed people of the United States. No, it will not happen. It won't. I'm sorry to say, but it won't. So what's next? Is Syria going to be knocked out of the game? Or are they going to be taken over and a puppet government installed? Is Yemen next after Syria? And then finally, will it be the big prize, Iran? And will allies with China and the United States, as well as Russia, begin to switch up and pick different sides and go this way or that way, or stay on their own 2 feet and welcome whatever comes, good or bad? Anyway, thanks for watching my video. This is World Politics, where everything is questionable and the people are the law. Thanks for watching.